The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback. Back to throw now on first down. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Back to throw. He spots Henderson open left side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a record-setting quarterback at Wesley College, Joe Callahan.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers? 1
touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Off the play fake. Callahan. His throw incomplete. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
Operating from the gun, Callahan. And that will be incomplete as well.
And that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on 3rd down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. On 4th down, here's Justin Vogel on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be second down. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
David Johnson's play has forced us to talk about him as one of the premier running backs in the NFL. Good size, so he can run inside and break through some tackles. Also has excellent speed, so he can get to the perimeter, turn the corner, and make it into a big gain. But he also relies on the fact that he was a college wide receiver at one point, and they can utilize him both out of the backfield and in the slot back position in order to get downfield and catch the football.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Back to throw here. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Here we go now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now let's go. 3-19.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. And the Cardinals will go up 7-0. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
Have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball in the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
On now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Taken in at the 22. So possession goes over here on the punt. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. They run a draw here on second down. A good positive play there, 9 yards, but still 3rd and long. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a handoff here to his running back. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. The numbers for him from a week ago, 22 carries for an even 100 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we have a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Looking to throw. Callahan. And this is going to be incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're going ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And it's good to make it 14-0. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll ban.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point try now for Dawson. And it is now 21-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it's a second down.
Here we go. Green 39.
Off play action. Callahan. Well, he's got it. Complete to Fowler. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football. And that's worked for the defense early in this game. And now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here we go. Green 39.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Callahan going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Green, 39. Green.
From the gun, Callahan. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
To throw again, Callahan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're taking a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Callahan. And now another one thrown incomplete. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And this one is right down Broadway. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
2nd down following the incompletion. They'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more. Try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Incomplete into the hands of Fowler. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help. Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
This will be fielded at the 8th. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Here's Andy Lee now. as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now they try the right side here. They had a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing on 3rd and long. Callahan. They find some open field, and I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
And I have to admit, partner, that I often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Let's go!
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Packer pressure, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, as an offense, you know, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. A second quarter score from Carson. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. A gain of 3, second down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from the desert after this. When halftime rolls around in just a bit, we'll send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet mean good?
Yeah, it's just something that broadcasters say. It's got to be good, right? You tell me.
Well, it's got to be good if Larry's doing it.
To throw on second down, Callahan. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down. Back to throw. Callahan. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game. And
that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has.
This is intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. He's got it. They're back within a score. It's 8, 21-13. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll look to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. He'll look to throw. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Cardinals on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Cardinals have an edge in time of possession right now. The Packers look like they'll be in this game for 4 quarters. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Third down from inside the 50. Gilmore is found on the quick pass, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. As they take a 7-0 lead. 1st and 10. Randall's going to bust out into open space, and nobody can stop him on this long touchdown. The lead now at 14. Now 1st and 10. Under pressure here, and the ball is picked off. Cardinals would then turn it around for the touchdown. Cardinals lead balloons to 21. Now so late in the first half, under pressure here, and the pass is picked off. Raynaud's going to run it all the way back for the score, closing that gap to 8. So that'll do it from our EA Sports Studios. Now let's get you back out to Glendale as we check back in with Brandon Gaudin.
This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he is knocked down from the side, right there at the 43. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Callahan. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Callahan. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go. 38.
Now Hundley. This will be his first throw off the bench. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On now is the Packers punter, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? He'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not only going to catch the football, he's going to run away from you a little bit. And that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll set up a throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw. It's complete. It's Sproles. And he gets it down to the 32. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The offense on third down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football.
All right, here we go. 3,
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
now let's go. Boom, landed.
They're going to look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And that'll be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit. But how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. And he's got this one down to the 10. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Looking to throw. Down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll look to throw here. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. And they give this time to the tailback. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
So they're on the 5-yard line here, 2nd down and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Always important to get the first score in the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And the lead is up to 15 now. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Oh, good move. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
On third down. That's Murphy. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. On now is the Packers punter as he's on here to punt it away. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Elsewhere around the NFL, they're in the 3rd quarter in Carson. Chargers have scored again, so they are really opening it up. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Here we go. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. first down. He'll drop to throw it. And he fires one incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And a give this time to the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And the Cardinals are in. Touchdown. Now Dawson for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This is taken near the 13. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
On first down, Callahan. And it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to the air on second down. Callahan. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. The Packers on third down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Off the play fake, Callahan. And that's incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
Or the mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Throwing again. Callahan. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down. Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was third and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Room here to run. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Ball spotted at the 4. It's second and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. They got to have 6 here. It's third and goal. They come out here in the eye. On third and 2, Callahan. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is going to be incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt, and the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeout in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, They got it going today.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit
under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw on second down. Callahan. Yeah, he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
I think the defense has to feel really good about what's going on here. They've hit him, harassed him, sacked him a bunch of times, and now he's starting to get a little jittery in the pocket. Feet are starting to move around a little bit. Sometimes they start to feel ghosts. People aren't even there.
And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cards, they pick up win number 4 on the campaign as they emerge victorious here. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.